All right, hello everyone. My name is AWilcox, and this is my presentation on athlete branding in college sports. So, for my project, I had to analyze two athletes who received NIL using the link we had in the description, which was a part of NIL 100. For the project, I used Arch Manning and Kai Trump. Arch Manning plays for University of Texas on football. Kai Trump is actually still in high school, but is committed to play golf for University of Miami. So they use social media to build their personal brand, engage with audiences through that way, and then they can promote their NIL partnerships through that. So I'll be walking you through a few slides, can kind of give you an idea of each athlete and how they go about their NIL. So for the athlete overview, I selected, just as I was saying, Arch Manning, who plays quarterback for University of Texas, and Kai Trump, who's going to be a golfer for University of Miami. Both have a strong NIL valuation and influencers online presence, but their branding strategies are different in key ways. And I'll discuss their digital presence and how that reflects to their own personal image, their content style, sponsorships, and engagement strategies. Okay, next slide. Athlete bios. We'll start with Arch Manning, quarterback. Comes from the Manning football family. Anyone who's remotely familiar with the NFL would know the long line of history that comes with the Manning family, which there could be an argument made for how much that helps the NIL evaluation. Part of it is personal branding, and if you can use your name, and especially this case where a lot of people know the Mannings, your evaluation image value is going to be higher. So his current evaluation sits at $6.8 million, which is making him the most valuable college athlete right now. Go on Kai Trump, on the other hand, just committed to University of Miami last year. Her evaluation puts her at $1.2 million. Which puts her right along with some of the highest female athletes, and she's not in college yet. Of course, we know NIL can be high school and college. Her social media influence is thanks to her engaging content and really, I guess, her public persona of how she engages with her fans. We'll go on slide 4. Arch is active on Instagram, TikTok, X, and his presence is athletic and brand focused, while on the other hand, Kai uses Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, which can kind of be a more, I guess the YouTube is more long form content, and as I'll get into later in the slides, that can kind of draw a difference between the two, Kai and Arch, where there's not going to be much short term engagement on YouTube, so that kind of goes into how you play, how you interact with your fans. Because this does give her a wider reach, especially among younger audiences. TikTok and vlog viewership on YouTube will also be higher because of that. Their platform strategies: Arch has about 500,000 followers on Instagram, 200,000 on TikTok, and then 150 on X. Kai, in comparison, has about 1.8 on Instagram, 3.2 on TikTok, and nearly 1 million on X. So she clearly has a more stronger following base. She also has a strong YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers. This shows that really Kai has a stronger social reach and a more diverse portfolio of people she can reach. But of course, at the end of the day, football is more popular than golf. And if you even go through the NIL evaluation charts, the majority of them right now are men. So, well, I'm not really sure on what the answer because of that is that football is more widely, I guess, for lack of a better word, popular than golf. So the NIL evaluations are going to be a lot higher because a lot more people are going to be seeing what Arch Manning is posting. Content analysis. Arch's content focused heavily on his football journey. The main themes are training, brand gear, behind-the-scenes moments, and game highlights from what I found. His posts are typically reels or stories, pretty professional. His engagement is strong. His average reel is pretty close to 800,000. with a 20% engagement rate. So among the top performing, including brand deals, especially with his collaboration with clothing brands and football card companies. For Kai Trump, her content is much more varied. She blends between lifestyle clips, even occasional political talk, and travel. This typically is used for more, I guess, short-term forms like TikTok, while maybe the more vlog videos can be used in YouTube. Her posts do regularly go viral, especially among the short forms like TikTok and Instagram. So most of her regular posts include tournament updates, brand promos, and collaborations. Personal branding for Arch. Arch's personal branding reflects, in my opinion, I guess, traditional / disciplined approach. He does lean into his family's image, which does help him kind of gain some brand. And his content stays really performance focused, which helps reinforce a strong, consistent brand image. Personal branding for Kai Trump. Her brand I would describe as energetic. Golf is at the center of it, but her personal moments bleed into her content more than Arch's do, which makes her brand effective because it does feel real and relatable, especially to the younger audiences that really are watching her. It really does depend on, there's no right or wrong way between how you portray yourself for these companies that you're representing, but for the audience that Kai Trump has, the demeanor that she shows is more appropriate for what the brands are looking for. And I think that reflects between how Arch kind of displays himself versus Kai. They both have their strengths and weaknesses, and that is going to play into what brands are going to be reaching out to them. All right, we'll go on to engagement tactics. Arch's engagement tactics are subtle. He posts high-quality reels with voiceovers and game footage. He rarely acts with his fans directly, though. His strategy is more passive but effective due to his legacy and elite status. Engagement tactics for Kai. Kai is more interactive, a lot of Q&As, reacts to current events. Again, going back to kind of her image versus Arch's. She has more of, can go behind the scenes, which is one of her biggest strengths. Brand partnerships. Arch has signed major deals with Vui, the athletic apparel company, which kind of reflects in how he portrays himself online. Trading card companies. These other partnerships are well integrated into his social media, often through training reels or other lifestyle posts. The tone typically stays somewhat consistent in his performance-focused identity. Brand partnerships. Kai Trump's partnerships include TaylorMade, Accelerator Active Energy Drinks. Her promos typically more of a fun vibe, well integrated, consistent, presented across platforms, helping her stand out. We'll go on. Branding comparison table. To compare, really, Arch's tone is traditional and focused. His content is football focused, and the interactions are very minimal. So very, I guess, disciplined and focused on football is kind of his image, while Kai, on the other hand, is more youthful, energetic, and her interaction levels are a little higher to kind of match that. Some key differences, kind of some gender dynamics here. Arch is kind of low-key, while Kai embraces kind of the varied lifestyle content. Gender kind of plays a role because depending on what sport you play, maybe not necessarily in this sport case because golf is boys and girls play it, but sometimes that can play into how you would, I guess, kind of brand yourself. So football fans would probably expect someone to be more disciplined, but for someone who's still in high school like Kai Trump, someone would probably expect to be more engaging. And we'll go into the strengths and weaknesses based on this shortly. Arch's strengths include elite brand alignment and high engagement. His weaknesses are limited content variation and low fan interaction. He could grow his brand a little by expanding beyond football specifics. For Kai Trump, her strengths are broad content range and authentic tone. Her main risk in my opinion, is kind of blurring her political attention to her brand. Of course, everyone knows her grandfather's president of the United States, and she does engage in political analysis sometimes, so that may hurt her brand depending on who's sponsoring her and what their politics are. And then recommendations for Arch, I would add a more interactive elements like a Q&A, behind the scenes, or lifestyle that can kind of match the level of what Kai Trump is at. And then recommendations for Kai is balance. She should keep golf at the center of it and kind of keep that, I guess, discipline part of Arch. Not bashing either one, Kai or Arch, just kind of their style of how they want to present themselves. As the media attention increases for Kai over the years, staying grounded in her sport will help strengthen, I guess, her authenticity for her brand. And that's my slides. Thank you.